Now, before I get into the comic book news, I just want to start out a little bit positive here and recommend The Suicide Squad. I thought it was a fantastic movie. I went and saw it yesterday in the theaters, and I really liked it. It's rare that we get such a fun movie anymore. And it took risks. It's a risk to put out a rated R comic book movie. So check it out. I had tons of fun. You can watch it on HBO Max. I would recommend going to see it in the theaters. That's where I went and saw it, and I had a great, great time. And I got to be honest, to their credit, DC Comics actually put out Suicide Squad comics that, if you go pick it up, unlike when you saw Iron Man 3 and you went to the comic book shop, he said, I'd like to check out an Iron Man comic. You got Riri Williams, a teenage black girl, instead of Tony Stark. And I'm sure people was like, why, is this the Iron Man comic? Yeah, it is, because it says Iron Man on the cover, except Tony Stark's an AI in her suit. If you go to the comic book store right now, and you're going to get to pick 2 Suicide Squad comics, there's actually an issue 1 of a Black Label Suicide Squad comic called Get Joker. You can pick that right up and not have to know shit. And then there's the main Suicide Squad book that came out this week as well. So they're doing one thing better than Marvel right there out of the gate, and I have to give them some credit for that. However, this little press tour they did where they said DC Comics in rebuilding mode, top execs speak out on future-proofing publishing. This is like them, a successful company doesn't need to go out and tell you how they're doing just fine. That's not really how things work. And I'm going to show you why things aren't all fine over there at DC Comics. Because once again, the top 20 adult graphic novels are mostly manga. They actually have 2 that aren't manga this time, technically. You have The Crystal Kingdom. I don't know anything about this book. This actually cracked the top 20. I'm not going to say anything bad about it because I don't know anything about it. It says it's based on a podcast, so there's a following maybe. It is what it is. If it's good and you enjoy it, it must be good. If it's cracking into all the manga, so, check it out maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to check it out, but cool. All right. When you know what this book isn't? A Marvel or DC comic book.
What a story, Mark.
Here's another book that cracked the top 20. And it's funny, like, well, finally, not all manga, except I take a look at this, and it sure does look like it appeals to that audience. This is a South Korean title called Solo Leveling. And just by, looking at this art, it actually looks kind of cool. I don't know anything about solo leveling, but maybe it's worth checking out. I actually would look at this, maybe. There's a game coming. That's it. Don't know much about it. It says, after the appearance of portals known as gates connecting the world of monsters to humans, a small portion of the population has acquired superhuman powers to defend against these monsters. Okay, that sounds kind of fun. So, there you go. A South Korean book and the Crystal Kingdom of the Adventure Zone cracks the top 20. Other than that, you already know what to expect. All manga, baby. We've got The Chainsaw Man, Volume 1. Hype. Great book. There's an anime coming, by the way, too. Cracks, number 1, Volume 1. That, I guarantee you'll see Volume 2 next month. Actually, let me take that back. I don't know if Volume 2 is coming out. I read this on the Shonen Jump app, so I'm not sure how many volumes there are of Chainsaw Man. But nonetheless, that's new fans coming in. Anytime, and I like to point this out, anytime you see a Volume 1 on here and it's old, these are new fans coming in. Unlike comic books, American comic books, which don't get that very often. This was odd to see. Now, Naruto Volume 1 out of nowhere pops in. One Punch Man Volume 1. My Hero Academia Volume 2 at number 18. Now, you know what's interesting about this? It's on here multiple times, too, by the way. But last month, My Hero Academia Volume 1 was on here. It's usually always on here. This time, Volume 2 was on here. Now, why I think this is significant, all of those new fans that jumped on Volume 1, and make no mistake, anytime someone is picking up a Volume 1, that's new people coming in. So, you have all of those people jumping in, reading it for the first time. I don't know if they've watched this show or not, but regardless, they're getting involved in the manga. Because unlike comic book movies, people will actually watch an anime and go read the manga. It actually has that trickle-down effect that comic book movies don't have. This is new. This is new fans from last month continuing and reading Volume 2. I just want to point that out because I think it's very important. Demon Slayer making the chart here too. This will probably slow down because, as I've said before, good luck finding the first 2 volumes of Demon Slayer. Actually, I think about the first 3. Then you've got more My Hero Academia again at number 9, and then My Hero Academia again at number 3. Why isn't X-Men on this list? You know, maybe, and I'm going to keep pounding on them with this because it's true, maybe instead of having 12 issues of freaking mutants hanging out at a dinner party, you could have them do something fun, and you might be on this list. And you could also just not make the comic woke. That would help too. Because nothing on here is woke. Nothing. So here's the Adventure Zone. Came in at number 5. Pretty impressive, to be honest. And the other one that was on here, Solo Leveling Volume 2, that is at number 8. And another thing I want to point out, here's another big hit. Attack on Titan Volume 1. Volume 2 is on there. And is that it? Was there another Attack on Titan listing on there? No, just the first 2. I believe that Attack on Titan is completed. I've been watching the anime. I've kind of paused on it because I'm going through all of the Gundam Universal Century arc stuff, but I'll get back to it eventually. I love Attack on Titan. It's amazing. It's amazing. You should definitely check it out. So, you know, a sad day for the comic book industry. I see a lot of comic book pros out there talking about, once again, how these increase in sales are helping out the mainstream comic book industry. I can't just help but laugh because they're literally sticking their head in the sand like an ostrich and not realizing that the time is coming to an end for the comic book industry. So, Chainsaw Man at number 1. There's an anime coming of this. It's a crazy book. A lot of fun. Check it out. Like I said, that Shonen Jump app, man, is so much. It's so worth it. It's like $2 a month, and you get access to everything. I read all kinds of shit I would just normally not even like look at thanks to that app. So that's just another reason why manga is superior right now. Because if you want to read digital comics, you have to spend the same price as a damn physical book. But if you want to read it digitally for manga, you pay like $2 and you get all kinds of shit. So I highly recommend that Shonen Jump app. I've recommended it before. It's been a while since I've talked about it, but you can get on your smartphone. It's $2 a month for unlimited reading. You get access to everything Shonen Jump has ever made. And that's pretty damn impressive. You could literally read shit for weeks and months and years, literally, with that app. Anyway, that's it. Another solid month for manga. Another poor month for comic book pros. And never forget, here's one of the if you say, well, please stop making your books political. This was the answer that you got from a comic book pro.
And if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. Problem solved.
Never going to stop using that clip because they asked for this and they got it. You don't like my politics? Don't buy my book. No problem. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Also, if you would please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment, make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that and subscribe if you're new.